Okay, so now it's time to actually start building this stuff. We spent 40 days getting the instructions from God on how to do it. Now it's time to start doing it. Moses assembled the whole Israelite community and said to them, "These are the things the Lord has commanded you to do. For 6 days work is to be done, but the seventh day shall be your holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Lord. Whoever does any work on it must be put to death. Do not light a fire in any of your dwellings on the Sabbath day." Part of their problem is going to be defining what it means to do work. What exactly does it mean to do work on the Sabbath? Apparently, lighting a fire is considered work. Moses said to the whole Israelite community, "This is what the Lord has commanded. From what you have, take an offering to the Lord." So he got these commandments while he was up on top of the mountain. And they were down making their own calf, doing their own thing, worshiping God in their own way. I think these people thought they were worshiping God, but they were worshiping Him in their own way. Some of them may not have cared, but some of them, I think, legitimately thought they were worshiping God. They were just doing it in their own way. Anyway, this is what the Lord has commanded. From what you have, take an offering to the Lord. Everyone who is willing is to bring to the Lord an offering of gold, silver, and bronze, blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and fine linen, goat hair, ram skins dyed red, and hides of sea cows, acacia wood, olive oil for the light, spices for the anointing oil and for the fragrant incense, and onyx stones and other gems to be mounted on the ephod and the breastpiece. All who are skilled among you are to come and make everything the Lord has commanded: the tabernacle with its tent and its covering, clasps, frame bars, crossbars, posts, and bases, the ark with its poles and the atonement cover and the curtain that shields it, the table with its poles and all its articles and the bread of the presence, the lampstand that is for light with its accessories, lamp and oil for the light, the altar of incense with its poles, the anointing oil and the fragrant incense, the curtain for the doorway at the entrance to the tabernacle, the altar of burnt offering with its bronze grating, its poles, and all its utensils, the bronze basin with its stand, the curtains of the courtyard with its posts and bases, and the curtain for the entrance to the courtyard, the tent pegs for the tabernacle and for the courtyard and their ropes, the woven garments worn for ministering in the sanctuary, both the sacred garments for Aaron the priest and the garments for his sons when they serve as priests. So we're still going to make Aaron a priest, even after his ill-fated adventure with this stupid golden calf. God hasn't given up his plans to make Aaron and his sons the priests. Then the whole Israelite community withdrew from Moses' presence, and everyone who was willing and whose heart moved him came and brought an offering to the Lord for the work on the tent of meeting, for all its service, and for the sacred garments. All who were willing, men and women alike, came and brought gold jewelry of all kinds, brooches, earrings, rings, and ornaments. They all presented their gold as a wave offering to the Lord. This is stuff that they would have plundered from the Egyptians, remember. The Egyptians had mining interests in diamond and turquoise and sapphire mines all throughout the region. So the stuff the Israelites plundered, and the Israelites might very well have been working in those mines as slaves, or part of their time as slaves in Egypt. So all this stuff they're offering out of the Lord is stuff they would have gotten when they left Egypt. And all that stuff that Egypt itself had, which they got from their diamond mines or their turquoise mines or wherever, were probably gotten thanks to the wealth they accumulated, the pharaohs accumulated in power in the days of Joseph. That's how God set all this up in the long run. Anyone who had blue, purple, or scarlet yarn or fine linen, or goat hair, ram skins dyed red, or hides of sea cows, brought them. Those presenting an offering of silver or bronze brought it as an offering to the Lord. And everyone who had acacia wood for any part of the work brought in. Every skilled woman spun with her hands, and brought what she had spun, blue, purple, or scarlet yarn, or fine linen. And all the women who were willing and had the skill spun the goat hair. We talked about the embroiderers earlier. That tends to be women's work. The leaders brought onyx stones and other gems to be mounted on the ephod and breastpiece. They also brought spices and olive oil for the light, and for the anointing oil, and for the fragrant incense. All the Israelite men and women who were willing brought to the Lord free will offerings for all the work the Lord through Moses had commanded them to do. Then Moses said to the Israelites, "See, the Lord has chosen Bezalel son of Uri, the son of Hur of the tribe of Judah, and he has filled him with the Spirit of God, with skill, ability, and knowledge in all kinds of crafts, to make artistic designs for work in gold, silver, and bronze, to cut and set stones, to work in wood, and to engage in all kinds of artistic craftsmanship. And he has given both him and Aholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, the ability to teach others. He has filled them with skill to do all kinds of work, as craftsmen, designers, embroiderers, and blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and fine linen, and weavers, all of them master craftsmen and designers. So Bezalel, Aholiab, and every skilled person to whom the Lord has given skill and ability to know how to carry out all the work of the constructing the sanctuary, or to do the work just as the Lord has commanded." Some people are skilled at doing these things. Some people were born with that skill. Some people taught, that's God gave these two guys and their assistants the ability to do these things. Now, these guys, again, these would have been slaves, and these two men would have been slaves in Egypt for the first, up until now, basically, however old they were up until now. And they undoubtedly would have had their skills put to work for Egypt while they were there. Now they're putting their skills to work for the Lord. Then Moses summoned Bezalel and Aholiab and every skilled person. So it wasn't just these two guys. Bezalel may have been in charge, and Aholiab may have been his assistant, but there were others in the camp who had this skill. Okay. Here you are again. Are you having fun walking around on me, cat? Now you're clawing my flesh. Yeah, you are. You're having fun sticking your claws into my flesh? Summoned Bezalel, Aholiab, and every skilled person to whom the Lord had given ability and who was willing to come and do the work. They received from Moses all the offerings the Israelites had brought to carry out the work of constructing the sanctuary. And the people continued to bring free will offerings morning after morning. You see what I have to put up with? This is the sort of thing I have to put up with all the time. All the time I have to put up with this. Every day I have cats in my face. Literally in my face. This is pretty literally in my face, right, cat? Yeah. I don't even know where that goes. Can't stop that. So all the skilled craftsmen who were doing all the work in the sanctuary left their work and said to Moses, "The people are bringing more than enough for doing the work the Lord commanded to be done." So they've measured how much stuff they're going to need, and they have far more than they need. They have plenty to go around to build all this stuff. Then Moses gave an order, and they sent this word throughout the camp: "No man or woman is to make anything else as an offering for the sanctuary." And so the people were restrained from bringing more, because what they already had was more than enough to do all the work. I bet you've probably never gone to a church service Where the guy gets up and says, stop giving us your money, people. We don't need any more. I don't know how many times over the years that's happened. I'm 40 years old. I'll be 40 years old. I don't think I've ever been to a service anywhere in all the churches I've ever been to where the guy got up and said, stop bringing money, people. We have more than enough. We don't need any more. I'm sending you an order to restrain from bringing us any more money. Cat, why are you doing this to me? What is your problem? Okay, the next couple chapters are going to be tough. I'm too kind and generous with you, Cat. I let you literally walk all over me. I ought to be firm and discipline you and punish you for all of your various wrongdoings. That's what I ought to do with you. Then you wouldn't feel empowered to just literally walk all over me. Yeah, you sit right there for a while. That's a good place for you. All the skilled men amongst the workmen made the tabernacle with 10 curtains of finely twisted linen and blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, with cherubim worked into them by a skilled craftsman. Excuse me. All the curtains were the same size, 28 cubits long and 4 cubits wide. They joined 5 of the curtains together and did the same with the other 5. Then they made loops of blue material along the edge of the end curtain in one set, and the same was done with the end curtain in the other set. They also made 50 loops on one curtain and 50 loops on the end curtain of the other set, with the loops opposite each other. Then they made 50 gold clasps and used them to fasten the 2 sets of curtains together, so the tabernacle was a unit. They made curtains of goat hair for the tent over the tabernacle, 11 altogether. All 11 curtains were the same size, 30 cubits long and 4 cubits wide. They joined 5 of the curtains into one set and the other 6 into another set. Then they made 50 loops along the edge of the end curtain in one set, and also along the edge of the end curtain in the other set. They made 50 bronze clasps to fasten the tent together as a unit. Then they made for the tent a covering of ram skins dyed red, and over that a covering of hides of sea cows. They made upright frames of acacia wood for the tabernacle. Each frame was 10 cubits long and a cubit and a half wide, with 2 projections set parallel to each other. They made all the frames of the tabernacle in this way. They made 20 frames to the south side of the tabernacle, and 40 silver bases to go under them, 2 bases for each frame, 1 under each projection. For the other side, the north side of the tabernacle, they made 20 frames, and 40 silver bases, 2 under each frame. Same thing as the south side, because it's rectangular, the north sides and the south sides are the long sides. They made 6 frames for the far end, that is, the west end of the tabernacle. That's the back of the tabernacle. At these 2 corners, the frames were doubled from the bottom all the way to the top, and fitted into a single ring. Both were made alike. So there were 8 frames and 16 silver bases, 2 under each frame. They also made crossbars of acacia wood, 5 for the frames on one side of the tabernacle, 5 for those on the other side, and 5 for the frames on the west at the far end of the tabernacle. They made the center crossbars that extended from end to end at the middle of the frames. They overlaid the frames with gold and made gold rings to hold the crossbars. They also overlaid the crossbars with gold. They made the curtain of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and finely twisted linen, with cherubim worked into it by a skilled craftsman. They made 4 posts of acacia wood for it, and overlaid them with gold. They made gold hooks for them and cast their 4 silver bases. For the entrance to the tent they made a curtain of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and finely twisted linen, the work of an embroiderer. And they made 5 posts with hooks for them. They overlaid the tops of the posts and their bands with gold, and made their 5 bases of bronze. Bezalel made the ark of acacia wood, so he might have done this by himself. The tabernacle apparently was a group effort, but Bezalel may have made the ark by himself. Bezalel made the ark of acacia wood, 2.5 cubits long, 1.5 cubits wide, and 1.5 cubits high. He overlaid it with pure gold, both inside and out, and made a gold molding around it. He cast 4 gold rings for it and fastened them to its 4 feet, with 2 rings on one side and 2 rings on the other. Then he made poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. And he inserted the poles into the rings on the sides of the ark to carry it. He made the atonement cover of pure gold, 2.5 cubits long and 1.5 cubits wide. Then he made 2 cherubim out of hammered gold at the ends of the cover. Again, I don't know how Bezalel knew what a cherubim looked like, but he did somehow. He got a pattern, I guess, that Moses was shown, a blueprint of some kind from God. There's no indication of what the text itself doesn't give us any indication of what the cherubim were, what they looked like, or how the Israelites knew that. They just did somehow. Same thing for the Urim and the Thummim, like we saw earlier. The text itself doesn't go into any explanation of what the Urim and the Thummim are. Somehow the Israelites they may have already had it. Whatever these things were, stones or lots or whatever they were, they may have already, I guess they already had them. They're not told to make them here, and there's no explanation given to explain them. So they must have, the text seems to assume that Moses and the Israelites already knew what they were. Somehow or another they also knew what cherubim were. But nowhere in the text does it explain how. He made 1 cherub on one end and the second cherub on the other end. At the 2 ends he made them of one piece of the cover. The cherubim had their wings spread upward, overshadowing the cover with them. The cherubim faced each other, looking toward the cover. Now, this next section says they. It could mean he. So either this is a Bezalel project by himself or other people are helping him. But they, or he, made a table of acacia wood, 2 cubits long, 1 cubit wide, and 1.5 cubits high. Then they overlaid it with pure gold and made a gold molding around it. They also made around it a rim 1 handbreadth wide, and put a gold molding on the rim. They cast 4 gold rings to the table and fastened them to the 4 corners of the 4 legs were. The rings were put close to the rim to hold the poles used in carrying the table. The poles for carrying the table were made of acacia wood and were overlaid with gold. And they made from pure gold the articles of the table, its plates and dishes and bowls, and its pitchers for the pouring out of drink offerings. They made the lampstand of pure gold and hammered it out, base and shaft. Its flower-like cups, buds, and blossoms were of one piece with it. 6 branches extended from the sides of the lampstand, 3 on one side and 3 on the other. 3 cups shaped like almond buds with almond flowers with buds and blossoms were on one branch, 3 on the next branch, and the same for all 6 branches extending from the lampstand. And on the lampstand were 4 cups shaped like almond flowers with buds and blossoms. 1 bud was under the first pair of branches extending from the lampstand, a 2nd bud under the 2nd pair, and a 3rd bud under the 3rd pair, 6 branches in all. The buds and the branches were all of one piece of the lampstand, hammered out of pure gold. They made it 7 lamps, as well as its wick trimmers and trays of pure gold. Ouch, my knee. They made the lampstand and all its accessories from 1 talent of pure gold. You're back again. Are you having problems today, Luna? Why don't you just calm down? You're not usually this crazy. She can go crazy, though. That's the 3rd time you've done that. Why don't you just calm down? What is your problem today, Luna? Every so often she goes. I call these the Luna tricks. When Luna just goes crazy. Every so often, Luna just goes crazy. They made the altar of incense out of acacia wood. It was square, a cubit long and a cubit wide, and 2 cubits high, as its horns of one piece with it. They overlaid the top and all the sides and the horns with pure gold, and they made a gold molding around it. They made 2 gold rings below the molding, and 2 on opposite sides to hold the poles used to carry it. They made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. They also made the sacred anointing oil and the pure fragrant incense, the work of a perfumer.